In this tutorial, I'll show you how to include categorical information in a regression by creating dummy variables. Here's the dataset we'll use. We have GDP growth rate, inflation rate, exports of goods and services growth rate, unemployment rate, and one categorical variable, European Union membership, which tells us whether each country is in the European Union or not. All the numerical variables can go straight into a regression, but the EU membership variable needs special treatment. EU membership is a category, not a number. A country is either in the EU or not, and Excel can't interpret text labels like EU or non-EU inside a regression. To use this information, we convert the category into a dummy variable, a simple O1 indicator that Excel can understand. A dummy variable takes the value 1 when the condition is true, and 0 when it's false. So for EU membership, a dummy equals 1 for EU countries, and 0 for non-EU countries. This lets the regression compare the average GDP growth of EU countries to the average GDP growth of non-EU countries, while controlling for inflation, exports, and unemployment. To create the dummy, insert a new column and type an IF formula. The formula I am typing tells Excel, if the country in row 2 is in the EU, assign a 1, otherwise assign a 0. Copy the formula down the entire column. Now you've transformed a text category into a clean numerical variable that the regression can use. I now verify that the formula worked correctly. For every country where the original EU variable shows yes, the new dummy variable assigns a 1, and for every no, it assigns a 0. To double-check, I apply a filter. All the rows with yes display a 1, and all the rows with no display a 0. This confirms that the dummy variable was created correctly. When you create a dummy variable, you're always comparing one group to a baseline. Here the baseline is all non-EU countries, the ones coded as 0. The regression will estimate how much higher or lower GDP growth is for EU members relative to this non-EU group, after accounting for inflation, exports, and unemployment. Because EU membership has only 2 categories, we only need one dummy. If we created a dummy for both EU and non-EU, they would add up perfectly, and Excel couldn't estimate the model. Leaving one category out, the baseline, avoids this problem. Now let's run the regression using the analysis toolpack. Put GDP growth on the left as the dependent variable, and include inflation, exports growth, unemployment, and the EU dummy on the right as explanatory variables. Remember to move the dummy immediately after unemployment, as the explanatory variables must be ordered one after another. Excel will now treat EU membership as a proper predictor. Let's now select the group of 4 explanatory variables including the dummy, check labels, and select a new worksheet for the regression output table. And this is our regression output. The coefficient on the EU dummy tells you the difference in GDP growth between EU and non-EU countries, holding inflation, exports, and unemployment constant. For example, if the EU dummy coefficient is -1.9, it means EU countries have, on average, 1.9 percentage points lower GDP growth than non-EU countries, after controlling for the other variables. This is exactly what dummy variables allow us to measure, the effect of belonging to a group. And that's how you create and interpret a dummy variable for EU membership in Excel. In the next tutorial, we'll build on this by exploring interaction terms, which show how the effect of one variable depends on another. Thank you for watching. Please like if you found the video helpful.